Before we learned how to calculate the middle of a dataset, in this video we are going to focus on the spread or variation of a dataset. We can do that in three different ways. We can find the range, or we can find the interquartile range, or we can find the standard deviation. We are going to focus on the first two now. So the range is basically the difference between the maximum data value and the minimum data value. So the range is actually the difference between the maximum data value and the minimum data value. Let's make example 7 in the book. In an example 7, the dataset is given here and we have to find the range of the dataset. So we said that the range of a dataset is the difference between the maximum data value and the minimum data value. So we can see that the maximum data value is equal to 9 and the minimum data value is equal to 2. So that means that the range is equal to 9 minus 2, which is equal to 7. Let's now focus to the interquartile range. To find the interquartile range, we first have to order our dataset. So let's say that we have it here. So we order it from low to high. So here we have the minimum and here we have the maximum. So the median will divide the ordered data in halves. So let's say that's somewhere here and we call that actually Q2. So that is the median. Let's write it down here. Q2, which is the median, divides the ordered data in halves. Okay. We can also find the median of each half. So we can find the median of the first half, which is here, and we call that Q1. And that is actually called the lower quartile. We can also find the median of the second half, which is here and which is Q3. And we call that the upper quartile. So Q1 is called the lower quartile. And when we are at the lower quartile here, that means that we are 25% of the way through the ordered dataset. So that means that 25% of all data values are lower than the lower quartile. So we can write down 25% of the, so we are 25% of the way through the ordered data. through the ordered data. So that means that 25% is lower than the first quartile, than the lower quartile or the first quartile. And now we have the median. So that means that 50% of all values are lower than the median. So this is 50%. So we can say that we are 50% of the way through the ordered data set. And we have Q3, which we call the upper quartile. And in that case, 75% of all values are lower than the upper quartile. So that means that we are 75% of the way through the ordered set. Percent of the way through the ordered set. To the ordered data set. And the interquartile range is the difference between the upper quartile and the lower quartile. The interquartile range, we also write it down as IQR in capital letters, is equal to the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. So that is actually equal to Q3 minus Q1. So that is actually everything between here. So this distance here. Okay. Let's make example 8. So in example 8, we have a data set here. And we have to find the median, the lower and upper quartiles, and the interquartile range. So before we start with that, we have to order this data set. So we have to get an ordered data set from low to high. So we have a 3, then we have like 2 times 4. And then we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 times 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times 5. We continue on like this till we get this. So here we have the ordered data set. And we have in total 19 values. 19 values means to find the median, we have to find the middle one. And the middle one for 19 values is the 10th value. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the middle value is this one. So this middle value, the 10th value, is the median, is our Q2. And to find the lower and upper quartiles, we have to find the middle of the first half and the middle of the second half. So since this one is the median, so the Q2, the middle of the first half, in the first half we will have 9 values. So the middle one is the 5th value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one is the middle one. So this one is the lower quartile, and in the second half you also have to take the 5th value because we have 9 values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 7 here is the middle one. So this is Q3, and the interquartile range is then this one here, Q3 minus Q1. So if we answer the question, A is, so there we have to find the median, which is equal to the Q2, and that is 6. And for B we have to find the lower quartile, which is 5, and the higher quartile, which is 7. And for C we have to find the interquartile range, which is Q3 minus Q1, which is 7 minus 5, and that is a 2. Let's go to example 9 now. So same question, but a different data set. Let's order this data set from low to high again. So if you order the data set, then we get this one, so an ordered data set. And in total, we have 20 values in our data set. Okay, so 20 values. To find the middle one, that is between the 10th and the 11th value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the middle is between those two. To find the median or Q2, we have to do the 10th value plus the 11th value divided by 2, which is 5.5. To find the lower quartile, we have to find the middle of the first half. In the first half we have 10 values, so the middle is between the 5th and the 6th value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle is between here. So Q1 is equal to 4 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 4.5. And to find the upper quartile, we have to divide the second half, and that is like the we have 10 values there, so it's again between the 5th and the 6th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's between 7 and 8. So the upper quartile will be equal to 7 plus 8 divided by 2, which is 7.5. And the interquartile, this range will be the difference between, again, Q3 minus Q1. So the median, which is Q2, is equal to 5.5. The lower quartile, which is equal to Q1, is 4 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 4.5. The upper quartile, which is Q3, is 7 plus 8 divided by 2, which is 7.5. And the interquartile range is, the IQR is Q3 minus Q1, which is equal to 7.5 minus 4.5, which is 3.